Hey you guys, Desmond here,
And LaCresha.
and welcome back to the channel. And today we are here to discuss episode 7 of season 16 of RuPaul's Drag Race, the US version, that is. Before we get into
Mm-hmm.
it, I want to remind everyone to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. We are getting closer and closer to our goal of 1,000 subscribers, and we would love to reach that by July. So you know what you gotta do. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Go ahead and like the video and share it with all your friends. Let everybody know about us, okay? And also, go ahead and hit that bell notification because we post multiple times a week now since there's like 50 different franchises going at one time. Um, so yeah, hit that notification so you don't miss any of our posts. Um, Thank you. The comments have been popping here lately, so thank y'all for engaging in conversations with us. And as always, let us know what you thought of this week's episode down in the comments below. We'll let you know if we agree or disagree. But look, keep it respectful. That's one thing I've been happy with. They've been keeping it respectful here lately. Here lately, okay? Oh my. So, what did we think of this episode of Drag Race?
You know what? This was a pretty decent one.
Honestly, don't get me wrong. I enjoyed the Rusical because I love the Rusicals every year.
Right.
It wasn't as good as the past 2
Some of the
years.
past ones.
Like the
Yeah.
past two, the Moulin Rouge, that was everything. And then the
Yeah.
one they did last year, what was it? The Wig Loose, that was really good as well. Now this one, The Sound of Rusic, it was good,
Mm-hmm.
but like it's Wig Loose, no, it's Moulin Rouge, Wig Loose, and then this one. But this one is still way better than the ones that we've been had before. So it was just, each year I was like, yeah, yeah, and then this year I'm like, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Like I was thoroughly entertained.
Right.
Yes, but let's go ahead and get into this episode, honey. All right, so we start off the episode after saying goodbye to Geneva Carr. They read her
Mm-hmm.
message, then they congratulate Maya on winning that lip sync. Baby, Miss Flips and Dips and Whips. I loved it all. Loved every second
Yeah.
of that. They sit down, and
Mm-hmm.
Q finally gets congratulated on her win.
Mm-hmm.
And then
It
immediately
was
started
fine.
and then immediately started talking shit like, "Oh, if you don't got to win by now, that's not a good sign. You just won 2 seconds ago.
Okay.
Literally, just yesterday you were crying, and now you got your win. You want to talk big bad shit, honey." And I'm like, we're not even halfway through the
Wanna talk
competition
about
yet.
it first?
Like, I feel like it was too early to have that conversation because she was like, "Is it too early?" Yeah, it was too early to have that
Yeah, because you're
conversation.
only like halfway through.
We're not halfway through. We won't be halfway through until the Snatch game, which is next week. But once that's
Right.
over, then we will be halfway through. So you're just a week too early. 2 weeks too early. Just 2 weeks.
Mm.
But yeah, baby, she done got her win. Now she done got a little too much dip on the chip. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So, Saphira once again brings up the fact that she did use her potion. Well, was asked. And, she said she had to silence those voices in her head. So she drank the
Mm-hmm.
potion, but just know I'm finna come even harder now.
Right.
And I'm like, that's the only way you can go, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So we come in the next day in the workroom. They're sitting down and they're talking. And apparently, Morphine did not know that Maya had braces. I'm like, baby, I remember watching the Meet the Queens and saw her braces. What do you mean? I'm like, okay. I'm like, sis, you really. I know she don't talk like with her mouth like wide open. She
Right.
she talks pretty much like this, but you can still see the
Yeah.
braces, honey.
Understandable. Because yeah, when I had braces, I would talk like that. I look like I still need braces, and that's just because I refuse to wear my retainer. I was irresponsible. They give me it $3,000, and I'll go get the stupid retainer back.
So RuPaul comes up to give the room out and enters the workroom. RuPaul announces that this week's Maxi Challenge is the Sound of Rusic,
The soul of
a
Rusic.
playoff around the Sound of Music. we'll talk about that in a little bit later. So they're sitting down and they're deciding the roles they want. And Miss Plasma here put all 10 toes down talking about, I am Mariah.
I am Mariah.
I am Mariah Grande. When I found out the full name was Mariah Grande, I'm like, really, y'all? Just terrible. I love it. How did you feel about this moment when Plasma put her foot down and said, no, I'm getting this role?
You know what? I was like, the reaction was kind of like twofold because it was like, well, I hope you know what you're getting yourself into. And two, I was like, you know what? Good for you. Good for you. Because not a lot of people fight for the spots that they want.
Yeah. I don't know. It came off very. I've had I've had this love hate thing with Plasma, and I was just starting to love her, but seeing her right there, and I'm like, it couldn't have been me, because I wouldn't even want the role of Mariah. Exactly. Well, knowing me, I probably would have, but knowing me, I probably would have. The theater kid in me would have been like, "This is my moment." But
I'm the greatest star.
But hearing someone like her putting 10 toes down would make me then put my 10 toes down and be like, no, I want Mariah.
Sing on!
Baby, you gonna draw a line, I'm gonna draw a line too. Let's go. And see, I'm petty enough to get in your head and then pull what Saphira did with Mirage and be like, you know what? You can have it. That's why I wanted Saphira to, kind of to for it more. And then just like mid her explaining her stuff, you can have it. I'll do this, bro. Do exactly how you did Mirage. And I love how she brought that up too. She's like, the last one I went home. But this one, won it. But hey, we'll talk about that more later. Now we had other queens, talking about, oh, I want this role, but nothing compared to this little moment here.
Right.
So it's now time for the rehearsals with their director and special guest judge of the week, Adam Shankman. Good to see you back, Adam. Good to see you back. So they're going through their rehearsal, and his assistant finally got there, and it's no one other than Melissa McCartney. And I love how they're like, because I would have done that too. But when they were naming off her credits, and some of the queens were like, oh, the girl from Mike and Molly, oh, it's Ursula. It really hurt my feelings that nobody brought up Gilmore Girls, because that is my favorite role that Melissa McCartney has ever played. Gilmore Girls has a special place in my heart. Have you seen Gilmore Girls?
Bits and pieces.
Honey, whenever you get done with school, sit down. It's on the Netflix, and watch the Gilmore Girls, because
so in the weeks between May and July, you want me to watch Gilmore Girls?
It's probably gonna take you that long too. Well, knowing you, it probably won't, because there's like 8-9 seasons, 22 episodes each season. So that'll probably be a good weekend for you.
Because I'm all day, every day. Because, oh my God. 'Cause I got halfway through one, what was a C drama. It had like 45 episodes. And I think it took me 2 weeks to watch it.
And it takes me forever to watch things. But I'm watching so many things. Plus, I'm playing my game. So it's not like...
And he's like, it's not all consuming for me.
Yeah.
It took me a month to get through campaign 2 of Critical Role, and I watched some of them like 3 or 4 times because I would fall asleep. And then I had to watch like the last 2 episodes like 3 or 4 times because I was like, Molly.
I need to go in and back on Dropout and watch. They have a whole new campaign going. But the one I started, I need to...
Your password.
I sent it to you.
You did not.
Yes, I did. Remember? Because it was right after this. I think I either told it to you as we're speaking or I texted. But I gave it to you because I said it's the same as the Paramount.
Well, members of Paramount.
Lord. But yeah, so I need to get back on there and finish it. Now that I've mentioned it, I might finish it. Because
I want to get on Dropout because
each episode is like 2 hours long. So like when you're sitting down, okay?
Well, yeah.
But you get invested in the campaign and the story and the characters and yeah, the one I need to finish there in this guy's mind, and there's so much going on. And in the last one, the guy was pushed out the window, so now we got to figure out what the hell is going on.
Look, I'm such a geek because like I love freaking D&D now, and I'm trying to get my kids into it. But I'm like, wait, you have to learn how to play first.
I have been officially invited. It's just planning when to do it. But I've been invited to my first one. And I'm like, oh, look at me. And I already told him, I'm like, just know my character is going to be an elf. Because I find it funny that I am a almost 7 foot tall man. And I want to play like a 2 foot elf. Like the smallest of the smallest of elves. Okay? Or a fairy.
So you could be like Orem.
Yeah.
From campaign 3.
But yeah, back to
or Scanlan from campaign 1.
Yeah, back to.
But then of course, all of my D&D experience is literally Critical Role. So I am like wanting to see some other ones because the only one I have from the dude who does the stuff on Dropout is literally Exandria Unlimited, Calamity.
Wait till you watch the Dungeons and Drag Queens. Oh, it's so good.
And he traumatized me.
Listen, that man, like, there was sometimes he'll say things and I'm like, sir, I need my blankie and my pacifier because you just scared me. I'm like, whoa.
Anyways, back on track. Melissa McCartney is freaking amazing.
And I just love the words of encouragement that she gave the queens. And I love how they had to sell off the Baby Bell sponsorship. Because they kept saying Baby Bells too many times. I'm like, oh, they must have paid for this.
Uh-huh.
They paid for that, honey. Shoot. And I'm like,
you get a Baby Bell, and you get a Baby Bell, and you get a Baby Bell.
I'm like, I know somebody somewhere on that stage was vegan. And you're throwing cheese at them? But hey, it is what it is. It was good to see Melissa.
Baby Bell, you can sponsor us.
Shit, who you telling? I promise to be on my best-ish behavior.
Best-ish behavior.
Speaking of best-ish, I'm going to let you go first. What did you think of Mother RuPaul this week?
They need to be fired.
Quiet, ain't no back talk. What? No, I said you were going to go first. Go ahead. Continue.
They need to be fired. They need to be fired.
What
this,
is
I don't
this?
know what this is. I don't know what it is. I have some herringbone, I have some pink fur, and some blue satin. We just gonna make something real quick. And Ru said,
Queens have gone home for wearing this on the main stage. Because at first I thought I was tripping because, before the episode, they'll tweet out a picture of all the judges on the main stage. And I saw that and I'm like, that's not what Ru's wearing tonight. No, I'm zoomed in. I'm like, no. And me telling myself, no, didn't change the fact that RuPaul literally walked out in this.
No. I don't
like any of this.
I don't want to go. And if you know that reference, you are a millennial and a Beyonce fan.
16 carriages. Sorry. Sorry, that song's been on repeat for days.
Since the Super Bowl.
But I don't like any of this except for the makeup.
I like it from the neck up.
I like the makeup.
I was like, oh, I'm glad she went with a different color wig finally.
I like the makeup.
He said she looked like Ronald McDonald.
So we were joined by Michelle Visage, the hilarious Ross Matthews, and our special guest judge, Adam Shankman. And it's now time for the sound of Rusic. So what did you think of the sound of Rusic as an overall production?
It was pretty good.
Pretty good. I can't complain.
Good.
I was entertained.
Uh-huh.
I really like the songs on this one.
Yeah, the songs were really good.
I thought they were going to be more Sound of Music-y.
Nope, they were just remixed Ru songs.
I figured they were, but I thought they were going to fit into the style of how they sang on The Sound of Music. So when I saw, I'm like, oh, okay. So we're not going to be all Hills is Alive. So I'm like, I was expecting, guess who's back in the house? I was expecting the style that they sing in with the Sound of Music with RuPaul's songs, but it wasn't. And I'm like,
that's so funny. This is right. I did that. I remembered something. I'm so proud of myself. Guess who's back in the house? Because she did that as Julie Andrews.
Yeah, I was expecting something along that line, just the whole thing, and I'm like, oh, we didn't go that way.
I remembered.
But I really enjoyed it. Like honestly, if we didn't have those 2 episodes at the beginning of the season where nobody went home, this could have been a good, hey, nobody goes home. Everybody did good. But I feel like it's still too soon from when we did those first 2 episodes. We need to wait like 2-3 more episodes before we hit them with the, oh, nobody's going home today. But if it wasn't for those, I probably would have been like, hey, let's make this to where nobody goes home.
Right.
And plus the Snatch Game next week, you can have, y'all did a Snatch Game last year with what, 14 people? Yeah, because only 2 were gone when they did it.
Oh, wow.
Remember, because they had to do it in 2 separate ones because there were so many of them.
Oh, yeah.
And remember the episode was super short, so we really didn't get to see much.
Yeah.
But thankfully, they released the actual edit, and now you can go on Paramount Plus and watch how it's supposed to be. So let's go over everyone and how they did in the Rusical. Up first, we have Plasma, our main star here.
Mariah.
What did you think of Plasma's performance in the Rusical?
You did pretty good. I took more notes for UK versus the world than I did for this. And I meant to. But I was trying to do homework.
I'm going to say I only took notes for the balls because, I like to keep track of where everything went. And we had 2 balls this week, so I have a page full of notes here.
Yay. I think she did pretty good, but then again, I expected her to do good. I'm not even gonna lie, I was low-key hoping she would fall flat on her face and get nervous.
Part of me wanted a whole Bosco situation where she just kind of flopped.
Right.
But another part, like, I was of two minds. The mind that is sick of her was like, oh, I hope she flops. But the mind that likes her is like, let's be honest. Like, although she is fighting for it, she would do a great job in no matter what. And right. She did a great job. She did a great job. She was in pretty much every scene. She held it all down. She knew her lip sync because not all of them knew the words. We're gonna mention that here in a minute, Maya. But everyone, she knew all the words. She knew her choreography. She had the most choreography because she was in the whole thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think
she did I'm campaigning for it to be like Ru Girls next year.
Rue
Next
World?
year, Rue Girls. We're your Rue Girls.
Oh, I like that. I like that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We're your Rue Girls, boys.
Oh, I wonder which song they'll try to fit to the melody of that song. Lord.
ASMR lover, that's where you are to me.
I was thinking, I don't know why my mom went to Sissy That Walk. I'm like, watch them try to turn Sissy That Walk into the Dream Girls. Hooey. But let's move on to Morphine. Morphine did okay.
She was there.
Yeah, she was there. Um,
She was forgettable for me. I'm not even gonna lie.
and I think it's because Saphira was so strong. Her and Maya just kind of fell flat in comparison.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Because, like, I remember Maya, but the reason why I remember Maya is not great.
Oh yeah, I got a
It's always-
screenshot of that. We'll go straight to it. Boom.
Like, that is literally the only reason why I remember Maya is because I was like, the thing. And I was like, okay, this can either work in her favor, where it was like, oh, you did such a good job that even when the habit fell over your face, you still kept moving and acting like nothing was wrong.
Which I
Or
give her
it could be
props for because
like,
she easily could have stopped.
exactly. Or it could be like, it was so bad that when that fell over your face, I was like, well, damn.
Yeah, there was several times, especially at the beginning. Towards the end, she was fine. She was forgetting
Yeah.
some of the words. And I
Mm-hmm.
agree with the judges. Her face wasn't selling it. Like, yeah,
Mm-mm.
like she was lip syncing through most of it, but like her face wasn't giving Broadway. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like
And
when
I
you're
don't.
doing these musicals, you just can't give the cunty face that you give when you're performing. And I think that's what she was relying on
Right.
because she
And I
is such
don't.
a great performer.
And I don't think that she's just like a big stage performer. She's, one of those like brunch performers down in the crowd, stuff like that. And so what she does makes a lot more sense. So being up on stage and having to like project, she doesn't know how to do that. And hopefully that is something that she'll learn how to do, in the future. Just
Listen,
right
being
now.
a extra dramatic child that I was, I knew how to emote at a very young age. And then on top of that, I was part of the choir, and that's something they teach you, especially someone who could sing all three sections. I can't now, but at the time, I could. It was really wherever they needed me. Oh, if there's a soprano missing, Desmond, go over there. Is there an alto missing? There's okay. And if everybody's there, okay, join the tenors because I could do all three. But I have the I'm dramatic, and I would have like yeah. So for me, that's not an issue. But if you were never taught that, because
Right.
you have to be taught to emote. Somebody has to tell you, hey, your face.
Right.
Work on that face. You don't know how much time I spent in a mirror working on plays for church or wherever I was doing and working on my face while I'm singing or saying something so that you could tell I'm emoting what the song is about.
Yeah. Church. There's a lot of church Easter projects.
Mm.
And then
A lot of church New Year's projects because we like to do stuff on New Year's Eve so you weren't out sinning.
hmm, um grandparents day. And so I sang for 6th grade graduation, and then I sang for grandparents day my senior year, and I sang during my graduation for my senior year graduation. I was like the only person in the choir graduating. And I was like, I remember vividly watching the video of my 6th grade graduation, I vaguely remember the song I sang, and I got upset because I think either I fell flat a little bit towards the end or I couldn't remember the words. And I was just like, man. And I vaguely remember watching myself go and walking off. So then my senior year, when I was singing Yolanda Adams' Open Up My Heart,
Mm. And
I
asking
forgot
for
the words, but I kept going, kept going, kept going till like the length of the song that I could remember was over. And then I finished and I walked off and I was like, dang, I forgot the words. And everybody was like, but that was like the best I had ever sung in my life. I don't know where that
Oh,
voice
you want to know
came
the best
from.
I ever sang? It was my senior year. I was auditioning for, was it the spring musical? I think it was the spring musical. Or was it the winter? We did one in winter or spring. It might have been spring. Hell, I don't remember. That was 15 years ago. Um, I do remember I auditioned with Alone by Heart.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, oh, and the person playing on the piano did me right too. Did me real right. I guess they just knew how dramatic I was. Like I remember, she started off real dramatic and zoom, and I just knew to come in. I hear the ticking on the clock. I'm lying here, the room's pitch dark. Oh, baby, when I tell you I eat that up. Oh, I ate that up. Oh, I ate that up for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You couldn't tell me. The few people that were in the auditorium were just like, and I'm like, yes, I know. I know. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I'll be expecting to hear from y'all. Okay. But yeah.
No, I did that, and then I think I sang. I don't remember what song I sang, but I had a solo, and it really sucked because I had a sinus infection during my senior graduation, my graduation from high school, and I was like, I don't know how I sounded, but apparently I sounded good, and I know I sounded better than the girl who sang her solo after me. She called herself wanting to sing Mariah. No, look, and it made me question how I sounded because I I guess because my mom being who she was and messing with my self-esteem and stuff the way that she did, like I would get up there and it was like, okay, I'm going to take all this nervous energy and I'm just going to center it in myself and then I'm going to have it come out in my voice and it would make me sound good and it would make me sound confident. Some of these girls though would get up there and was like, what was she? She was singing some like she get up there and it was like, oh, I ever wanted, and I'm like, and those white people would just be like, and I'm like,
Baby,
now you know
that sounds
good
like she ain't
goddamn
never
well.
had no vocal training, but at the same time, a lot of my vocal training didn't come from, because once we moved back to where I live now, there was no any type of musical. There was the plays, and I auditioned for those, but like there was no choir, there was nothing else other than
Mm-hmm.
band, and I got kicked out of band in sixth grade, so that was a no for me. So, but when I was in Houston, I guess that was the reason why I did so well while I was there, because I had the vocal training that I got from the church. And a lot of people don't have that, especially a black southern church, because they don't play. Especially some of them, baby, that we had one choir director, baby, she didn't play with us.
Mm.
Baby, she got up there, we got to work. And if something ain't sound right, she's like, pause. Minister, replay that part on the piano again. Tenors, over and over again until it sounds right. And we had to keep, and baby, she was big on layering. Oh, baby. And if it didn't sound right, as soon as we saw this right here, we knew we had to do it again.
down.
We knew. It was until she hit us with one of these because it didn't sound right. You got to get it together. And she was never ugly about it, and she would work on you one-on-one if you were, especially if you had the talent. She's like, I hear it. You just need to be guided to where we can get that out of you correctly without messing up your throat.
Right. I mean, and I wish I had that. I was in the school choir, but again, I went to a predominantly white / Asian / Mexican church school, and all the people that were there were Asian / white / Mexican that went to the church.
Yeah, because I'm currently working with my best friend's stepdaughter because that choir director's leading her in the wrong path. I'm like, no. Listen to best friend, because they all call me best friend. Listen to best friend. That choir director don't know what he talking about, okay? Like, get me as somebody's choir director, because, baby, I'll get y'all together. We gonna sound good. Because, baby, I was watching that Christmas program they did, and I'm watching it on my phone on the live because my best friend went live. And I'm sitting and I'm like, girl, how long y'all worked on that? And she said pretty much like 2 months. Like, two months? And that sounded like the first practice. Like, ooh, I'm like... And he's big on having them sing more like that opera style of choir. I hate it. Because not everybody's voice can get up there. And now you have 16 hormonal teenagers trying to hit high notes.
Oh, God.
It was not cute. It wasn't cute. But anyway, we need to get back to Drag Race.
Right.
Moving onwards, overall, they did good. All right, so Saphira Cristale.
Yes, ma'am.
Like, I don't know how many other ways to say mother. And I loved it. The timing was down perfectly when she was shushing Plasma's character. Like, it was just, it was like all worked so well. She's like, this is my moment. This is my moment. And I know she really wanted the Mariah role, but I think this was so much well suited for her. And she stole the show, in my opinion.
Definitely. Because I remember her more than I remember Plasma.
Stole the show. Just did such an amazing job. So let's move on to Dawn. Dawn did a good job. She played
Dawn
the silly role.
For her proportions.
Like, I noticed there were several queens, but in particular Dawn, you could always see her in the background doing something. Because sometimes, and we're going to talk about her in a minute, but like Megami, after she did her pieces, she was just over there
chilling.
Like, real dead face. I'm like, no, honey, you still gotta... Even when, you know, the focus isn't you. You're trying to steal the focus, honey. That's the purpose of this, okay? Because there are small parts, but it's about how you work it and how you interpret it, how you get your point across. Because we've seen small parts win.
Yes.
Silky is the first one that pops in my head. Shea Coulee is another one who both had small parts. They literally had their 1 minute and gone.
Right.
But that 1 minute was so they won. But yeah, Dawn did a really good job. I was worried for Dawn. And Dawn, you on my list because don't ever disrespect us theater lovers, okay? Because you're going to be looking out for that moving van that's going to be driving down your street. Okay? And it's going to run your ass straight over. Okay? Don't play with us. Do not play with us, okay? Ooh, a Hairspray themed Rusical. I would love that. Good morning, Tuckahoe. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's continue. Up next
There
is
couldn't be a Hamilton one because then what would you call
honestly,
it?
they should have highlighted on the Hamilton back when it first got dropped on Disney Plus, like that
Mm-hmm.
next year, or maybe even the year
Right.
after, depending on how it dropped in their scheduling. They should have done a play off of Hamilton, which I still don't think it's too late. They could possibly do.
But what would they call it? What would be a good play on RuPaul? Charles.
I don't know, but um,
Ramilton.
um,
Rumilton.
they'll come up with something. But up next is Megami. Who gave her them glasses?
Why did they give
Like
her
whoever
those
gave her
words?
them glasses set her up for failure. Number one.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like she did a good job, but as soon as she was done with her piece, she just kind of blended into the background.
Yeah, you could tell she's never done theater before.
And I call BS on the makeup because this makeup looks extremely different than what she did on the main stage, and it looks extremely different from what she did with the fairy beat up fairy look. Michelle,
Mm-hmm.
I understand y'all have a narrative y'all are trying to push here, but don't just sit up here and lie. We're gonna say the same thing to Supreme Interlocking and the Javis here in a minute, but y'all will see that before y'all see this, so you already know what we said about them.
Good morning, Taco.
But
You
yeah,
got this on your head
I
now.
thought she did okay, but my biggest issue is she faded into the background once she moved to the side.
Mm-hmm.
Because there were several times where the camera would point to her, and she's just really dead faced, and she's like, "I'm like, come on, honey, give us
Ooh, ah, sensation.
the ooh ah ah sensation," as Mohart would say. Moving on to Nymphia Wynn in this damn pine cone. I thought this was so funny.
Yes.
I love the quirkiness because you could tell. I don't want to say she's a bad dancer because she did a really good job in the girl group challenge.
Mm-hmm.
But you could tell she leaned more into the character for this one, and I think it worked for her.
Yes.
Uh, I still don't understand the obsession with the pine cone. Like, why are we sitting on pine cones? Quit being nasty. Um, but it was funny. I love the quirkiness. I thought she did a good job. What did you think of Nymphia?
Same thoughts. Honestly, I didn't understand what the pine cone thing was about. I thought she was hilarious. She did a really great job, and
Yeah,
she
because I thought
did.
at some point they were going to explain when she fell in love with pine cones. Like, did
Right,
she fall and accidentally sit on one, and that's what started it all? Like,
right.
where did this love of pine cones come from? But I did
Yes.
find it hilarious. It did. I
Yeah,
chuckle,
and I'm
chuckle.
pretty sure that's a narrative she came up with her head. Theater kids got to have a background story for every character, no matter how minor. What is their thought process?
And that's probably what it is. Like, why do I love this pine cone?
Why
Why do I like sitting on pine cones?
do I like this sensation?
Like, what happened?
Like, am, is the pine cone penetrating or am I just grinding?
Like, these are questions I need answered. Like, they couldn't have given me this role because Adam would have been mad at me. I'm like, no, I need these answers to understand my character and understand what
Why
I'm
would I
supposed to bring.
move this way when I could move this way? Why does my hair have to be up when it could be down
I've had
or
too many of
straight
these
out like Jimmy
conversations.
Longstockings?
I've had too many of them conversations during my days trying to figure out my character, annoying whoever the director is, and be like, but no, I need to know these things. Come back. I promise I only have like 3, 4 more questions. Up next is Tsunami Muse. What did you think of Tsunami here?
Uh, Look, all I could think about was all the bull crap they pulled in the workroom watching this.
I actually didn't mind the bullcrap this time because they were getting into character.
Right.
Yeah,
And I was just like, okay, I see it. It's translating. All right. Okay. You want to be a bitch? Okay, you do that. And she
I
played
thought
it very
she
well.
played it very well. And it's aside from Tsunami, we haven't really seen before because up until now, she's been this all happy, and we got a little piece of it when Q kept saying her name to go home.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was good to see this side. I thought it was funny. I
I
thought they
thought you
played.
deserved it.
I think her playing and Q played off of each other so well.
Mm-hmm.
Like they were those bitches,
Mm.
and I lived. Up next is Plain Jane. Again, just same as Tsunami. I thought she did a great job. Not too far of a reach for a character for her,
Mm.
but she did a really good job.
Because that's the character she's playing on the show anyway.
Yeah, I thought overall she did a good job. What did you think of Plain Jane?
Again, she just kind of leaned into what she was already doing on the show.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of forgot about her a little bit. I'm not even gonna lie.
Yeah. And then last, I believe this is last, is Q. I gotta give Q props. She had the character work down.
Mm.
She had the character work down, the facial expressions, when it's on her, when it wasn't on her, was really good.
Mm-hmm.
Although I do agree, she didn't have any choreography.
She didn't.
She literally walked, sat down, walked, picked up, walked, moved. Everybody else at least had a little 1, 2,
around
1,
stage,
2.
right around. Wind your extremely long stole.
Which I thought that was hilarious. But yeah, everybody else at least had a 1, 2 they had to do at one point. She literally just walked. So I understood Megami in Untucked and after the critiques where she was like, what choreography? She literally just walked around. And I'm like, that is true. But honestly, that's not on her. That's on the director. Exactly. But then again, a good director would know, hey, this baby ain't the best at dancing. Exactly. But she's doing a really good job with the emoting, and she's doing a really good job selling the character. So let's focus on that instead of trying to give her a 1, 2, 3, 4. Got it.
Exactly.
Because I actually agree with her placement this week because she did a really good job in this musical. Now, if they would have gave her some actual choreography, yeah, she might have been up for elimination. But they didn't. Maybe the producer's like, hey, we can't afford Q to be in the bottom again. we can't afford that, okay? Because she really lost against Amanda. We played in their faces. But it is what it is. But overall, I thought it was a fun musical.
Mm-hmm.
So, it is now time for the runway. Category is I can buy my own flowers.
I can buy myself flowers.
As soon as she said that, I'm like, flowers is the lip sync song, ain't it? Because why else would you say that? Is it flowers? And I'm still a little traumatized when it comes to flowers and the lip sync because it takes me back to that Drag Race Germany flowers lip sync. When Victoria hopped on that judges panel's table.
Oh, God.
Oh, my goodness. I'm like, ma'am, medic.
No.
Medic. Now, we've had Now, we've had a flowers runway before, but it's been a minute. So, Roxy St. James, where you are today, what would you do if you got the prompt flowers or I can buy myself flowers?
Ooh. I'd have been either somebody's hydrangea or somebody's orchid, because those are my favorite flowers. So I probably would have did one where my face was the middle of the flower, was the middle of the orchid, and then I'd have just pulled a Zach and been like, I'm the clitoris.
Yeah. For me, I was thinking back and forth.
Georgia O'Keeffe.
I was thinking back and forth on what I could possibly do with this. Because there's so many different ways that you can take it. What I would have done is, I love that Cinderella silhouette. So I think I would have done that, the ball gown. But instead of, we'll say that the ball happened during the spring. So the dress is green. There's flowers all up down the side of the arms. I might have like a little flower crown.
Mm-hmm.
And then like in the back, you can see like the dress turning back into a flower, a big flower, whatever. Like, oh no, it's midnight. I gotta go back. My
Right.
dresses are turning back into flowers. I think I would have played off of that stick. The way.
Ooh, and I know a good way to walk down the aisle too, because you just sat there, and you come out, and you have your hands up, and you put you look up in the sky, and you just you walk to one side of the runway, you float to the other side of the runway, and then you get to the middle, you drop your shoe, and then you just run.
You probably do like a little reveal to make it look like it's starting to fall apart, and you just see flowers fall out, and I'm like, oh no, oh no, I gotta get
We're
back.
giving you ideas.
But yes, honey, let's get into these runways. Up first, we have Plasma.
I got the reference right away. At least the My
Immediately,
Fair Lady reference.
immediately, I got the reference. I'm like, oh,
Look at the day at the races.
I know.
We are the.
But yes, this is stunning. I love the silhouette. I love the flowers. That hat. All of this. Check, 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 check. Check, 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 check for me.
Yes, because this could have went Mae West real easy, but like I knew immediately. Oh, My Fair Lady.
Honestly, I wouldn't have been mad with a little Mae West inspiration. Especially from Plasma, because, we've never seen that side of Plasma. You know what I'm saying?
Right, and this would have been a good way to do it, but she didn't have no chest plate.
But this is perfect as is. I wouldn't change a thing. Call me Aerosmith,
Right.
because I don't want to miss a thing. Because this was everything, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Up next, we have Safira Cristal. Mother. Madre.
Yeah,
Mommy.
yeah.
I can't think of any other ways to say mother. Mom. Mom. Mommy. Mom. 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 Mommy. Mommy. Mom. Mother. That's all I could think of when she was coming out. I'm like,
Yeah.
how did
she
you
gave
pack? Like, everybody online is like, how did you pack? If you think about
That's
the
what
shit,
I wanted to know. Like, did you ship that?
like, do you think about the shit that Safira has worn this season? How did you fit that in a suitcase? Like, she had to vacuum seal some things. She had to vacuum seal them down to get them to fit.
Definitely.
Because, my God. Like, this... Just put a crown on it. Like, I wasn't 100%. Like, I had a couple people that I'm like, okay, they could take the crown. But at this point, just put the right
Put
there.
a crown on it. If you like it, then you should have put a crown on it.
Put a crown on your face. But what did you think? I've been talking nonstop about Safira. What did you think about this look?
I agree with everything. I lived for this. Like, I was sitting here and I don't know what I was doing. I think I was eating. I literally was like,
Oh, listen. Out of all the episodes that we've watched this week, there was 4 looks that just made my jaw drop. This was one of them.
it was her, and then there was one queen on an international version that I was just like, you know what? The glow up is real.
Listen, I might surprise you when we do our España review. They'll have already seen it, so they'll know what I surprised you with. But
Right. We're recording out of order.
we're recording out of order. Just know we're recording out of order. So by the time y'all see this one, we still haven't recorded España, but y'all would have already seen it before y'all seen this one. Excuse me. All right, so we're moving on to Morphine Love Dion. This was cute. I love the little 70s hippies, you know. This is the aesthetic I feel like Danny Renee would follow. The very hippie
Flower child.
flower child. I feel like that's who she is in my head. So like this fits that aesthetic perfectly. I thought this was cute. Real cute. What did you think of Morphine's look?
I liked it. I got the play on words. I didn't think it was the prompt, but it is what it is.
I will say yes, because she got the flower crown on. Yeah. There's flowers in the hair. Do we need more flowers? Yes. But I feel like there's enough for me to be like, okay, you get a C.
Yeah.
Like you
Low
pass.
C.
You pass.
You
Barely.
minus.
Barely. C minus. C minus.
Yeah. You got a 72.
71.
Okay. I'll agree. 71. I said 72.
Up next we have Maya Iman LePage.
Yep. Ouch.
And she served. I love this look. This was
Oh my God.
stunning.
I loved this, and I said, "Oh, look at her with Harlem Nights."
This is very Harlem Nights. Oh my God, I haven't seen Harlem Nights in so long. Ooh-wee, my goodness, but yeah.
She went Harlem Nights on us.
She very much did.
Delta Reese,
Baby, for us people of color, we was raised on Harlem Nights, okay? Woo-wee. Baby, when she was hold on, we'll talk about the movie later. But this look was everything. Great job, Maya.
Yes. That makeup just irks my spirit, but it is what it is.
Up next is Dawn. I thought this was cute. I just don't like the color combination. The blue and the red doesn't work for me.
Yeah.
Like if the dress was black, or maybe if it was all red, maybe. But the blue just I like it. Again, she gets a passing grade. She gets a C minus.
She gets a 78.
Oh, C plus. Look at you. But for me,
78.
Yeah, for me, it's more like 7D. Like you barely passed. Well, it depends on where you go to school. Some people consider 60 as passing.
Look, I got a 79 in one of my classes. You know that was considered a B.
Shut up.
I was so serious. Because I was like, oh,
where
no.
was that when I was in school? Because, baby, they sure hit me with a C plus when I got that 79.
I was like, oh, no. It's going to mess up my eligibility for the dean's list. And then I went and looked at my transcript. And my transcript was like, A. And then I got to that class and it was like B. I said, that's a B? That's a B? That's a B?
Maybe
she
did. Maybe her teacher did like a curve situation where the lowest person just needed to go up 1 point.
No, that's just the school average.
Well, I didn't go to your school, okay? But yeah,
Look,
I like it. I just don't like the color combination.
They will sit there and rob you blind.
Yeah, I just don't like the color combination, but I do like the dress.
Right.
Up next is Megami. I thought this was stunning. And again, Michelle, I get it. You're trying to push a narrative here, but I understood the story immediately. Why would you walk down the aisle with the messed up dress? If this was a real wedding and she's walking down the aisle, she'll be like, oh no, flute, here I am.
Right.
Again, the critiques for Megami this week were I do agree she should have been in the bottom two. But I felt like they could have elaborated other things to justify her placement instead of talking about her makeup and her look here. And I'm like, no. No. Because overall, I like the look. I love this silhouette. This works for me. I want one, but with the peachy color. Give me peach. Give me orange. Give me peachy orange. What did you think of Megami's look here?
I liked it. It was bodysuit, but she carried it well. Like she sold it to me.
She did. I love the silhouette of this too. I think I've mentioned it before, but I'm gonna say it again. I love the silhouette of this. Up next is Nymphia Wind. What did you think of Nymphia this week?
This was unique.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
This was unique. It looked like a cactus, and I think that might have been what she was supposed to be.
I think so as well. I thought it was cute. I enjoyed it. I love the element of camp. Good job. Good job.
Excuse me.
Up next, oh my god. It's Q. Baby, she walked out in this. I was like, oh. I almost dropped my jaw. I almost did. It went like that. I was like, ooh, pick it up. Pick it up. But this is so good. This is so good. And different for Q.
Right.
Because, we've seen pretty much the same silhouette from her. And I think this was a perfect time to be like, oh, look, I can do this too. Bam.
Right. I had an issue with it. Like, I liked it, but I had an issue with it, especially since the way that I watched I watched all of these. I watched UK versus the World before I watched this. And, we had a similar situation in UK
and see, I watched
the
this
World.
before UK versus the World, but it still didn't take nothing away from what Legrand did.
No, I love Legrand. This, on the other hand, I was just like, I think you needed different shoes. Like, it would have sold it to me if you'd have wore different shoes.
Okay, I can see that. I can see
that. Because I'm assuming you're supposed to be like a monster, a flower monster of some sort. But you just wore like some pleaser platforms and then had the little things going, and I was just like, because like the difference between this one and Legrand Dame's was like her tail end was high enough that when she walked it made sense. This makes no sense. She seems too short for the stilts, and it looks like really awkward to me.
Okay.
So like it's a nice outfit. I love it. Just the execution was a little off for me.
Understandable. Up next is Plain Jane. I thought this was cute. A little underwhelming for what Plain normally gives.
Yeah.
But I still think this is a solid B.
Yeah.
A solid B. I thought she did good. What did you think?
I saw it on Instagram before I watched the episode.
Uh-huh.
So, it was really cute with Juju B's Mother Gothel.
I just love Juju B. I need Juju B back on my TV.
Yeah.
I don't care how many times she's been on it. Bring her back until she gets a crown. And after that, bring her back for all winners so that I can see her again.
Bring back Juju B.
Bring back Juju B.
Bring back Juju B.
Bring back Juju B. Bring back Juju B. Hashtag bring back Juju B, okay? All over social media.
That's going to be in the description below.
Everybody on all social medias. Hashtag bring back Juju B. Okay?
Yeah, but I agree with your assessment. It was a little plain Jane for plain Jane.
But it was good to see her without the breastplate. I was like, okay.
Right.
Like I said, a little something different.
I'm assuming this has something to do with the floral situation because everybody with the flashback Mary highlight in the middle of their face.
It could be something to do with the whole floral situation. So they're like, well, let me brighten this up here.
The snot out of me.
All right, let's move onwards to Tsunami Muse. She was serving an upside down bouquet. Until she said it, I'm like, oh, okay, I kind of see it now.
I got it.
I'm like, but she had to explain it to me because I'm like, wait, where's the floral? What's going on? I don't see no flowers. Where are the flowers that you bought yourself? I don't see them. And then she explained it, and I'm like, oh, I guess.
Yes, this was a little underwhelming. I'm not a big fan of the fabric.
You know, we're
The
in the we're grading things today apparently, so this would get a D
D,
minus.
D minus. So like a 60, 62.
63 was what I was thinking.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
This,
depending on where you go, that's still passing.
depending on where you go.
Depending on where you go.
Yeah.
But in the school of Desmond, it's not. But it's not bad enough for me to say it's a no for me, dog. So,
Right.
like, it's just a soft boot. In the words of the fashion photo review, it's a soft boot.
Soft boot.
Soft boot.
You know, just the fabric choices I'm not too keen on. Fabric choices are because there's something about that polyester sateen that she has on
Yeah.
that's just kind of, and then like she chose the darkest flower underneath, and I'm assuming it's supposed to be either black roses or purple hydrangeas. Could be either of the two.
I don't know, but I think we should move onwards. So we have our amazing queens here. Who had your favorite look this week?
And why was it Saphira?
I wasn't going to say it because I had a feeling you were going to say Saphira. And I'm like, okay, cool. I'll say Plasma because I was torn in between the two. But I knew you. So I knew you were going to say Saphira. So I'm going to say Plasma so we can say Saphira and Plasma have the best looks this week.
Anyways, why was it?
So who had your least favorite look this week? Oh, ho, 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 ho.
Least favorite look? Uh. Ooh, that's a tough one.
It's not for me.
I'm gonna have to say Dawn.
I'm going to say Tsunami. Because if she didn't tell me what she was, I wouldn't have known. So, RuPaul asked Plain Jane, would you like to use your immunity potion? She said no. Which, if I was her in that situation, I wouldn't either. I'm like, no, I did a good job. I'm good here. I'm good here. So, we find out in the top, we have Plasma, we have Saphira, and we have Q. But in the bottom, we have Morphine, we have Maya, and Megami. Do you agree with the tops and bottoms?
Yeah.
I do too. You know, a lot of people were questioning Q's spot there, but I'm like, she did do a good job in the Ruse School. You know,
Right. Regardless of whether she had choreography or not, her lip sync was still on point.
yeah, I feel like she should have had some choreography because everybody else at least had a 1-2 where they had to give a little something. She literally just walked here, walked there, turned around, dragged her stole, walked here. But she did great with what she was presented. So we find out that the winner was Plasma. Do you agree?
I would have gave it to Saphira, honestly.
To be honest, I would have gave it to both Saphira and Plasma.
Yeah.
Because Plasma, really, from start to beginning, was that girl. She stepped into that role, she pushed herself there, and she delivered. But also, Saphira stole the show.
Exactly.
And they both have amazing runways. Give them both the win. And since we're splitting money, that'll be $2,500 for each of them.
Exactly.
It's better than that $1,250 they got for the 4-way win. Oh my goodness. But we find out that the bottom two is Maya and Megami. Do you agree?
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, I do too. You can make arguments for Morphine to be there, but I think this is the appropriate bottom two. Like I said, honestly, if we didn't have the double premiere where nobody went home, I would have just done this as the Nobody Went Home episode because nobody flopped.
Right.
Yeah, they had their little hiccups here and there, but nobody just straight up did bad.
Right.
But hey, this is what we were dealt with. And as we predicted, at least I did as soon as I heard the category, this week's lip sync song was Flowers by Miley Cyrus.
Right.
So what did we think of this lip sync?
I was wondering how that was gonna go.
I just applaud Maya for not flipping.
Yeah.
Because at first I'm like, oh gosh, she's gonna rip that off and start flipping. But she said it, she's like, nope, no flips needed. I'm like, oh, okay. Okay, talk your shit then. All right, shut me up. Shut me right up. And I'm going to be right on quiet and I'm going to watch.
But now, I do think she won.
I do think she won, but I got scared.
I did too. As soon as them shoes came off.
I'm sitting there, I'm like, sis.
Like, you know that's a cardinal sin. You know you're not supposed to do that.
But once she started dancing, now minus this penguin slide she did here, but once she started dancing up the ramp back to the entrance of the runway, it reminded me of that scene from the music video. And then I got on Twitter and saw everybody else caught that too. I'm like, okay, it wasn't just me who I'm like, wait a minute, is she referring to the music video here? Because she was dancing just like that with no shoes on.
Right.
So I'm like, okay, she might be referencing that. Cool. I can forgive it this one time. Do not make it a habit. And Samantha Valentine's, if you make the top two, keep your shoes on. I'm not playing with you, Samantha. But
take them on your feet.
And keep the rest of your drag on too. Keep your drag on. Shoot, they would have seen what I had to say by now. But just keep your drag on, all right? I love you. Anyway, so she slides. I thought the slide was hilarious. I'm like, ma'am.
I thought the slide was funny. I mean, it was well timed.
It was. And then at the end when she gave the little praise break.
The little yeah.
Yes. Praise him. I can buy myself flowers, honey. So at the end of the lip sync, RuPaul decides that Maya is the winner. Do you agree?
Yes.
I do as well. Which means we have to say goodbye to Megami. So after she sachets away, they dance and celebrate her elimination. And we find out next week they're doing Snatch Game. And they told us quite a few of the people that they're going to be portraying, which I'm like, is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Trina's cousin Shaquita.
I'm glad that's there because I didn't know Trina had a cousin named Shaquita.
I didn't either.
I'm just worried because I know RuPaul doesn't know that character. So it's just like a lot of times if RuPaul don't get it, and you've already had the lip sync twice, sister. You've already had the lip sync twice. My heart wouldn't be able to take it, okay? But that is it for this episode. We've already gone over the hour, so we're going to go ahead and wrap things up here. Krisha, where can they find you on the social medias?
You can find me at Cresha McGill. That's CRESHAMCGILL on all social media.
And you can find me in the club, Pocket Full of Bud, my mom. But if I'm not there, you can find me on all social media platforms at Simply Desmond. That's SIMPLYDESMOND. Thank you so much for spending a piece of your day with us. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And we'll see y'all tomorrow. Bye.